Good evening and welcome to tonight's news bulletin, coming to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq presides over the Council of Ministers meeting at Al Barakah Palace today. His Majesty the Sultan gives an audience at Al Barakah Palace to His Excellency, the President of the World Bank Group. And His Majesty the Sultan issues 9 royal decrees. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq presided over the Council of Ministers meeting at Al Barakah Palace today. His Majesty began the meeting by expressing praise and gratitude to Allah for His abundant blessings upon this beloved nation. He prayed for the year 2025 to be one of continued achievements and the fulfillment of the aspirations and goals envisioned by His Majesty over the past 5 years of Oman's renewed renaissance, paving the way for a promising future and a bright tomorrow for this cherished nation and its loyal citizens. His Majesty also prayed for the health and well-being of all and for further blessings and prosperity. After commending the efforts of the Council of Ministers, its committees and various government entities in fulfilling their responsibilities, His Majesty highlighted the achievements and contributions made in advancing comprehensive development across the country. His Majesty then reviewed local matters, with the Council of Ministers receiving an assessment of the economic and social conditions in Oman for 2024. These included an overview of the positive outcomes achieved thanks to the efforts of all entities in economic diversification, enhancing non-oil revenues and expanding the economic base. These efforts have contributed to national economic growth, addressing key economic and social priorities, expanding government services to society, and increasing spending on vital sectors such as education, health, and social welfare. In this context, and following references to the growth contribution of promising economic activities to the GDP and the increase in value added from non-oil sectors, His Majesty directed the Council of Ministers to focus on factors that stimulate economic growth. He emphasized supporting the private sector in benefiting from partnership opportunities available through government programs and projects, as well as leveraging Oman's recent strategic economic and trade partnerships with other nations. His Majesty also underscored the importance of implementing the national policy on local content to boost Omani industries, encourage local projects, reduce imports, increase exports, and support related productive industries. After the Council reviewed a briefing on the state budget for 2025, the final budget under the current 5-year development plan 2021-2025 and the key features of the framework for the 11th 5-year plan 2026-2030, the Council of Ministers directed the relevant authorities to monitor the implementation of the current plan, evaluate its goals and challenges, and complete any remaining projects. It also stressed that the 11th plan should include programs and projects aligned with Oman Vision priorities, focusing on initiatives that add value to the national economy and create job opportunities for citizens. As part of His Majesty's keenness to review the efforts of various government entities in 2024 and their goals for 2025, the Council of Ministers also received briefings on the work carried out by these entities. The Central Bank of Oman, the Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones, the Oman Vision 2040 Implementation Follow-Up Unit, the Tax Authority, the Oman Investments Authority, and the State Audit Institution. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq emphasized the importance of cooperation and coordination among these entities to enhance economic growth, create job opportunities for citizens, and positively improve Oman's indicators across various fields. On another note, in light of the achievements in the health sector of the national priorities and the efforts made to develop it, His Majesty expressed his satisfaction with the positive outcomes achieved, praising the role of the Ministry of Health and its accomplishments in this area. His Majesty extended his gratitude to all health sector workers for their dedication to providing the best health care services. In this context, and to enhance specialized health care services, the Council of Ministers approved the establishments of the National Genome and Human Data Program, Oman Genome, under the Ministry of Health. This initiative aims to create a genetic and genomic database for Omani society and expand research in this field, enabling improvement in early diagnosis and targeted treatment for genetic diseases. The Council also directed the establishment of the National Center for Ophthalmology and Eye Surgery for accommodated the growing demand for these services, integrate the latest diagnostic and treatment technologies, and conduct related research. Additionally, the Council of Ministers approved the launch of a national program for early cancer detection, focusing on the most common types affecting women. These will include the establishments of 7 early detection units across all governorates of the Sultanate of Oman. Furthermore, nuclear medicine services will be expanded through the development of a facility for producing radioactive isotopes and a nuclear pharmacy addressing the increasing demand for radiopharmaceutical isotopes for the diagnosis and treatment of cancer patients. After reviewing an update on the social protection system established to provide care and support, promote social solidarity, protect eligible groups, and achieve social and economic stability in society, His Majesty emphasized the importance of continuing to monitor the performance of the system and its programs, ensuring continuous evaluation. In light of a report on the progress of the National Employment Program and the efforts and initiatives undertaken by relevant entities to address its challenges, the Council of Ministers stressed the importance of integrating the efforts of supervisory entities in productive economic sectors to develop appropriate plans and mechanisms for job localization and urbanization. This aims to accelerate the employment of the national workforce, especially job seekers. After reviewing several social phenomena and the challenges posed by the population structure and its social, economic and cultural impacts which may lead to demographic changes affecting some aspects of life, His Majesty directed the Council of Ministers to conduct the necessary studies and develop specific programs and policies to find suitable solutions to these challenges. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq gives an audience this morning at Al Baraka Palace to His Excellency Ajay Banga, President of the World Bank Group. During the meeting, a number of economic and developmental topics were discussed, along with various aspects of cooperation between the concerned authorities in the Sultanate of Oman and the World Bank Group were discussed. The latest updates in the economic development process in the Sultanate of Oman were also reviewed, and ways to expand the horizons of partnership with the World Bank Group were discussed, especially in terms of exchanging experiences, sharing knowledge, developing the capabilities of national competencies, and ways to support the role of the World Bank and its initiatives in the region. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sultan bin Salim Al Habsi, Minister of Finance. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issued 9 royal decrees. Royal Decree number 1 over 2025 ratifying the state's general budget for the fiscal year 2025. Article 1 ratifying the state's general budget for the fiscal year 2025 according to the attached tables. Article 2 all units of the state's administrative apparatus and other public legal persons shall implement the provisions of this decree, each within the limits of its jurisdiction. Article 3. This decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into force from January 1st, 2025. Royal Decree number 2 over 2025 issuing the banking law. Article 1. The provisions of the attached banking law shall be enforced. Article 2. The Central Bank of Oman shall issue the regulations, decisions, instructions and circulars necessary to implement the provisions of the attached law. Until they are issued, the existing regulations, decisions, instructions and circulars shall remain in effect, provided that they do not conflict with the provisions of the attached law. Article 3. The licenses, permits and approvals issued by the Central Bank of Oman prior to the enforcement of the attached law shall remain in effect until their expiry period, and their renewal shall be in accordance with its provisions. All activities and operations of those to whom these licenses, permits and approvals have been issued shall be subject to the provisions of the attached law and the regulations and instructions of the Central Bank of Oman. They must adjust their status in accordance with its provisions within 6 months from the date of its enforcement. The Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Oman may extend them from the other period not exceeding twice. Article 4. The banking law issued by Royal Decree number 114 over 2000 referred to herein shall be cancelled, as shall everything that contradicts the attached law or conflicts with its provisions. Article 5. This decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into force from the day following the date of its publications. Royal Decree number 3 over 2025 issuing the Central Bank of Oman system. Article 1. The Central Bank of Oman shall have a legal personality and shall have financial and administrative independence, ensuring that it practices its duties, functions and works, as well as achieves its objectives. The provisions of the attached system shall apply to it. Article 2. The headquarters of the Central Bank of Oman and its main treasuries shall be in the Governorate of Muscat. The Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Oman may, by a decision, establish branches, treasuries, offices and other facilities inside or outside the Sultanate of Oman to carry out its duties, functions and works. Article 3. The organizational structure of the Central Bank of Oman shall be approved in accordance with the attached appendix. The establishment, amendment and cancellation of administrative divisions in the structure shall be by a decision of the Governor of the Central Bank of Oman after the approval of the Board of Directors of the bank and the competent authorities. Article 4. The phrases the Board of Governors and Chief Executive Officers shall be replaced wherever they appear in the laws and royal decrees by the phrases Board of Directors and Governor as appropriate. Article 5. All that contradicts this decree and the attached system or conflicts with their provisions shall be cancelled. Article 6. This decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into force from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 4 over 2025 regarding the Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Oman. Article 1. Appointing His Highness Sayyid Taimur bin Asad bin Tariq Al Said as Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Oman with the same rank and financial allocations. Article 2. The following shall be members of the Board of Directors of Central Bank of Oman: Minister of Economy as Deputy Chairman, the Governor of the Central Bank of Oman, the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Finance, the Chairman of Financial Services Authority, Sayyida Rawan bint Ahmed bin Thabit al-Busaidi, Dr. Saeed bin Mubarak bin Saeed al-Muharrami, Dr. Khalfan bin Muhammad bin Khalid al-Barwani, Dr. Jamil bin Darwish bin Jamil al-Shaqsi. Article 3, all that contradicts this decree or conflicts with its provisions hereby cancelled. Article 4, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into force from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 5 over 2025 appointing a governor for the Central Bank of Oman. Article 1 appointing Ahmed bin Ja'far bin Salim al-Musallami as a governor of the Central Bank of Oman with the rank of minister. Article 2, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into force from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 6 over 2025 amending some provisions of the Royal Decree number 64 over 83 establishing the College of Banking and Financial Studies. Article 1, the name of the Board of Directors of the College of Banking and Financial Studies shall be amended to Board of Trustees of the College of Banking and Financial Studies wherever it appears in the aforementioned Royal Decree number 64 over 83. Article 2, the text of Article 4 of the aforementioned Royal Decree number 64 over 83 shall be replaced with the following text. The Board of Trustees of the College of Banking and Financial Studies shall be formed by a decision of the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Oman after the approval of the Board of Trustees from an odd number of not less than 5 members, including the Chairman of the Board of Trustees and his deputy, and 2 members representing the banking sector. Article 3, all that contradicts this decree or conflicts with its provisions hereby is cancelled. Article 4, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into force from the day following the date of its publication. Royal Decree number 7 over 2025 appointing 2 advisors in the private office. Article 1 appointing Hussein bin Ali bin Abdul Latif as an advisor in the private office with the rank of minister. Article 2 appointing Sayyid Dr. Sultan bin Ya'rub bin Qahtan al-Busaidi as an advisor in the private office with the rank of minister. Article 3, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into force from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 8 over 2025 approving the organizational structure of the Royal Court Affairs. Article 1, the organizational structure of the Royal Court Affairs shall be approved in accordance with the attached annex. Article 2, all that contradicts this decree or conflicts with its provisions is hereby cancelled. Article 3, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into force from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 9 over 2025 on promotion to the rank of Major General and appointment of Head of the Special Medical Unit Affairs in the Royal Court Affairs. Article 1, promoting Brigadier Dr. Saif bin Zahir bin Saif As-Salmi to Major General and appoints him as Head of the Special Medical Unit Affairs in the Royal Court Affairs. Article 2, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into force from the date of its issue. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq received 2 cables of thanks from the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, King of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, Crown Prince and Prime Minister, in reply to His Majesty's cable of greetings on the Kingdom's winning the bid to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad al-Busaidi, Foreign Minister, made a phone call with His Excellency As'ad Hassan al-Shaybani, Minister of Foreign Affairs in the Syrian Transitional Government. His Excellency stressed on the Sultanate of Oman's firm and supportive position to respect the will of the Syrian people and preserve Syria's sovereignty, unity and territorial integrity. The depth of the strong historical ties ties and relations between Oman and Syrian peoples, the continuation of joint cooperation between the two brotherly countries, and support for development and stability efforts in Syria and the region. And we continue with local news. The Directorate General of Health Services in the Dhofar Governorate organized a Pharmacy Day celebration event under the theme Pharmacist Meeting Global Health Needs. The celebration aims to emphasize the vital role pharmacists play in raising community awareness about the national or rational use of medication. The event included an exhibition featuring several booths that highlighted the pharmacist's role in providing pharmaceutical services and the optimal utilization of the drugs given. It also emphasized the necessity of adhering to treatment instructions from trusted sources. The event was held under the patronage of His Highness Sayyid Marwan bin Turki Al Said, Governor of Dhofar. The Kiram Forum for Specialty Coffee Makers was held in the Wilaya of Nizwa to celebrate the Omani youth art and culture of coffee making. Here is a report on that.
Showcasing the finest talents and innovations in the world of specialty coffee, Nizwa was abuzz with the aroma of coffee and the spirit of creativity at the Kiram Specialty Coffee Makers Forum. The event, named after the Arabic word for hospitality, brought together coffee artisans and enthusiasts to spotlight Omani talent in the art of specialty coffee.
As Nizwa become the most the famous as tourism destinations, so the number of coffee shops is growing. This forum created to bring all these coffee shops together to bring high quality coffee and make Nizwa as the capital for coffee lovers and makers.
I'm happy to participate today in Kiram event. This kind of events make a robust community in local coffee shops, especially here in Nizwa. We are seeing Nizwa as a coffee hub in the coming future, inshallah.
A highlight of the forum was a competition where 27 specialty coffee professionals competed to craft the perfect cup within 7 minutes. An expert panel of judges evaluated their creations based on criteria such as coffee aroma and flavor.
There's a lot of criteria to judge this competition. So first, there's some sweetness that we need to follow or to look on it, and how's the complex of the coffee, the bitterness, and which one is the best coffee on it. And I'm really looking forward to develop more, especially here in Oman, and I'm really happy that it starts here in Nizwa.
From this event, we're going to set a very good example to the rest of the other people who want to do such kind of events here in Oman, so that the community can grow as one, and we're going to do a lot of things together, and the coffee industry at large is going to improve and grow at large.
It's very important for networking. Since the competition started, I met with many very excellent baristas and very talented baristas and owners. So it's crucial for networking. Other than this, it's important for enhancing the culture of coffee shop here in Nizwa.
The forum provided a platform for knowledge exchange, catering to everyone from casual coffee lovers to industry experts, thus enhancing collaboration and innovation to promote the artistry behind specialty coffee in the region. The forum is a tribute to the creativity, innovation and culture of the Omani youth who are brewing a bright future for specialty coffee in Oman. Reporting from the Wilaya of Nizwa, this is Saleh Bakhalfan al-Rahdi, Al-Dakhiliya, Governorate.
Thank you, Saleh. There. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq presides over the Council of Ministers meeting at Al Baraka Palace today. His Majesty the Sultan gives an audience at Al Baraka Palace to His Excellency the President of the World Bank Group. And His Majesty the Sultan issues 9 royal decrees. As we mark the first day of the blessed month of Rajab and welcome the new year of 2025, Let us remember, in Rajab we sow the seeds of faith, in Sha'ban we nourish them, and in Ramadan we reap the abundant harvest of blessings. May our efforts for our beloved country Oman under its wise leadership continue to prosper. Wishing you success, strengthen faith, and the wisdom of face challenges with grace. May peace and understanding prevail among all people of the world. Good night.